Today is Sunday, Parashat Lecha. Yesterday, we read from the Torah Parashat Noach. The Haftarah of yesterday was the Haftarah of Rosh Chodesh, because it was Rosh Chodesh, we took out two Sifrei Torah. But if it was a regular Shabbat Parashat Noach that is not Rosh Chodesh, we would have read a different Haftarah. And the Haftarah would have been Haftarah that begins with Roni Akara Lo Yelada. And in the Haftarah, it makes reference to the Mabul, to the great flood that the Parashat Noach tells us about. But it calls it by a different name. It doesn't call it the Mabul, referring to the great flood. It calls it Mei Noach, the waters of Noach. It would seem to be unfair. After all, the flood happened, the great rains happened because of the Reshaim, the wicked people of that generation. The society at the time had gotten so corrupt. People stealing from each other, people being inconsiderate of each other, people were egoistical, people cared only about themselves and not the people around them. So that was the reason for the great flood. People acted in an immoral way in terms of traditional family values. There was a lot of immorality. Why would the Navi call the Mabul, the great flood that happened as a result of the behavior of the wicked people, of the behavior of the time? Why would he call it the waters of Noach? It would seem to be unfair. Noach, the parasha, begins by telling us, Ish tzaddik tamim haya bedorotav. He was a righteous man in his generations. Well, our commentators explain that there was a problem. The problem was the following. Noach did not do enough to try to save the people of his generation. He didn't rebuke them enough to try to correct their ways. And most importantly, he didn't pray for them. That's a very important aspect of taking responsibility for not just yourself, but those around you. There's many places in Halacha, in Sifrei HaMusar, that tells us that when someone could have influence on others, and he doesn't take responsibility for correcting them, then he could be held responsible for their actions, because he could have gotten them on the right track, and he didn't do it. Well, apparently Noach did not do enough to rebuke and to get them on the right track, and he did not pray for them. Very different from Avraham Avinu, which next week's parasha tells us about Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was a person who was all about chesed, about caring about others. And in a week later, parasha that will come after next Shabbat, the following Shabbat, will tell us when he was told about the people of Sodom and Amorah, that the cities would be destroyed. He had a whole dialogue with Hashem, trying to find a way to sort of save the people of Sodom and Amorah. The problem with Noach, he was indifferent to some extent. That kind of indifference made it so that the Mabul would be called on his name, Mei Noach, the waters of Noach. And from this we learn an important lesson in civic responsibility, in social responsibility, that to think not just about ourselves, but those around us, the society around us. Anything that we can do, whether to get them on the right track, or to pray for them, and to care for them, is something very, very important. When Noach didn't do what he was able to do, the Mabul was called on his name, Mei Noach, the waters of Noach. We'll see in later generations how Moshe Rabbeinu, for instance, when the Jewish people were at risk because of the sin of the golden calf, he put himself on the line, he prayed for them, he argued with Hashem for Hashem to forgive them. That's something that Noach didn't do. That kind of indifference made it so that the Mabul will be called on his name, Mei Noach. And that's an important lesson to learn from yesterday's parasha. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.